There's a young man that I know. His age is 21. Comes from southern Colorado. Just got out of the service and he's looking for his fun someday soon. Going with him someday soon. Dad cannot stand him 'cause he rides the rodeo. My mom says he'll just leave me crying, but I would follow him right down the toughest road I know someday soon. Going with him someday soon. When he comes to call, my pa ain't got a good word to say. Guess it's 'cause he was just as wild in his younger days. Oh, so blow you, oh blue northern, blow my love to me. He's driving in tonight from California. Loves that goddamn rodeo as much as he loves me someday soon. Going with him someday soon. Oh, someday soon. Going with him someday soon. Today I walked down the street I used to wander. Shook my head, didn't need myself a beer. There are all these things, don't think I remembered, babe. How lucky can one man get? Today I walked down the street I used to wander. I don't know words to this song. John Prine wrote it many years ago. Lucky can one man get? I will always be lonely. Nothing's ever gonna change that. It's the way that I'm wired. It's the way that I'm set back. From the man in the mainstream to the crowd in the highway, I will always be lonely. It's the way that I am. I was born in a city, grew up in this country, used to work in a factory. Didn't like it exactly when the road gets bumpy. Try not to get too jumpy or your head'll get lumpy. You start looking like me, I will always be lonely. Nothing's ever gonna change that spare card in a red car. I will always be lonely. Blue crack in a spare part, red line through a river heart. Round world in a square heart, I will always be lonely. It's solo power cables, no towers, no kilowatt hours. I will always be lonely. Nothing's ever gonna change that. It's the way that I'm wired. It's the way that I'm set back. From the man in the mainstream to the crowd in the highway, I will always be lonely, just the way that I am. You know, the ones that I'm proud of are the ones who allowed love. Many lost in the crowd of people gone by. I will always be lonely, square part in a, you know it, head start, round world in a square heart. I will always be lonely. Nothing's ever gonna change that. It's the way that I'm wired, the way that I'm set back. From the man in the mainstream to the crown in the highway, I'll always be lonely, just the way that I am. They used to come to town from the naval base, looking for a stiff drink and a pretty face. Hang around the whorehouses all night long. Some were drifters, some were bums, and some were just waiting for the war to come. Out behind the factory with a bottle and a factory girl. In a small town on the river, small town on the river. When that December war broke out, many a woman lost her man. Some wrote from overseas, some didn't, and their women didn't understand. And the whores left for the harbor towns where the business was still good. The factory girls, they worked double shifts, put in as much time as they could. In that small town on the river, small town on the river. Some men came home aces, some were carried home. Every man was a hero, no one was left alone. Well, some got jobs, some went to school, some found they'd fathered kids. Some just couldn't escape the war and round up on the skids. In that small town on the river, small town on the river. Now 40 years later, the town remains the same. One mill burnt down, another was built. Now the paychecks come from a different name. And the Eagles in the Legion Hall, nothing seems to age. Same jokes told, the TV on, paper open to the sports page. In that small town on the river, small town on the river. I was talking to the bartender last night at the PAC, a Navy man from World War II, sharp dresser though he don't have to be, and over a double bourbon, he says, I'll tell you man to man, this died 30 years ago, so get out while you can. In that small town on the river, small town on the river. They used to come to town from the naval base, looking for a stiff drink and a pretty face. Well, the cafe was closing on a warm summer's night. Kathy was cleaning the spoons. The radio played the hit parade out along with the tune. She asked me to change the station, said the song just drove her insane. Weren't just the music playing, it was me she was trying to blame. And the sky is black and still now, on the hill where the angels sing. Ain't it funny how an old broken bottle looks just like a diamond ring, but it's far, far from me. Well, I leaned on my left leg, the parking lot dirt. Kathy was closing the light. June bug flew from the warmth he once knew, and I wish for once I weren't right. We used to laugh together, and we danced to any old song. You know she still laughs with me. She waits just a second too long. And the sky is black and still now, on the hill where the angels sing. Ain't it funny how an old broken bottle looks just like a diamond ring, and it's far, far from me. Well, leaned on my, started the engine, gave her some gas. Kathy was closing her purse, hadn't gone far in the beat up old car. I was prepared for the worst. Will you still see me tomorrow? Though I got too much to do. Well, a question ain't really a question when you know the answer to. And the sky is black and still now, on the hill where the angels sing. Ain't it funny how an old broken bottle looks just like a diamond ring, but it's far, far from me. Small town, bright lights, Saturday night, pinballs and pool halls flashing their light, making change behind the counter of the penny arcade sat the fat girl daughter of Virginia and Ray. Lydia hid her thoughts like a cat behind her small eyes sunk deep in her fat. She read the romance magazine up in her room. It felt just like Sunday on Saturday afternoon. But dreaming just comes natural, like the first breath from a baby, like sunshine feeding daisies, like the love hidden deep in your heart. Bunk beds, shaved heads, Saturday night, warehouse of strangers with 60-watt light, staring through the ceiling, just wanting to be lame one of too many young PFC. Donald. There were spaces between Donald and whatever he said. Strangers had forced him to live in his head. He envisioned the details of romantic scenes after midnight in the stillness of the barracks latrine. But dreaming just comes natural, like the first breath from a baby, like sunshine feeding daisies, like the love hidden deep in your heart. Hot love, cold love, no love at all. Portrait of guilt is hung on the wall. Nothing is wrong and nothing is right. Donald and Lydia, they made love that night. Love. Made love in the mountains, made love in the streams, made love in the valleys, made love in their dreams. When they was finished, there was nothing to say, 'cause mostly they made love from 10 miles away. But dreaming just comes natural, like the first breath from a baby, like sunshine feeding daisies, like the love hidden deep in your heart. Couple of John Prine songs. Oh, baby. You fill up my senses like a night in the forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses. Come fill me again. Come let me love you. Let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter. Let me die in your arms. Let me lay down beside you. Let me always be with you. Come let me love you. Come love me again. You fill up my senses like a night in the forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses. Come fill me again. You fill up my senses. Come fill me again. Happy Monday.